We're drawing Snoopy in 6 different drawing challenges today. It's going to be a good time. And frankly, who doesn't love Snoopy? That's right, we are drawing Snoopy, and we're starting with drawing from memory, which means that we're about to go on a disastrous journey from beginning to end, all the way to a finished Snoopy that is almost, but not quite right. Speaking of that, my name is Patrick. I'm almost, but not quite right. No, I'm an artist here on the internet. I like drawing fun pictures and having a good time with art. I think it's so important to not take ourselves too seriously when we're making things and just enjoy the process. So I try my best to have fun and to, make the world a better place by just being positive and enjoying the weird and wacky challenges we do here. If you enjoy that, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe and do all the stuff that tells YouTube that I'm a good boy. Speaking of a good boy, we're back here with our Snoopy, trying to get something of a body shape in here and a sense of Snoopy. I've got something here that is close to Snoopy, but not Snoopy. We're in the un-Snoopy Valley, just not quite right. And not quite wrong either, right? Like, there's something Snoopy-y about this dog, but it ain't Snoopy. It's some kind of, Snuppy, a beagle that's similar to Snoopy, but not quite Snoopy. We're getting the last of the details here in on this body, trying to figure out, does he have spots on his back? I thought he did. Chat wasn't sure. We made our move. Oh yeah, and this is me showing how easy it would be to do a different version of Snoopy. Because that's basically Snoopy laying on a house, which is pretty straightforward. But I didn't do that. I stuck with this one. And we moved on into our inking here. Snoopy is essentially a pretty straightforward character. There's not a lot to him, especially because he's basically black and white. Although I did add a collar to him eventually, which I thought was red. And he doesn't generally have a collar, I don't think. And if he does, I think it's just black, like a straight line. So, oops. We are so close, yet so far with this one. And that's just the way it goes sometimes. Oh well. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's really nice to have people popping in. I think we're just about at the end of our Snoopy here. We're making some final decisions on our Snoopy body and our Snoopy tail, and we will get that collar in here I thought might be there. And let's check out our Snoopy from memory. Up next, we take that terrible memory and we put it with my terrible hand using my non-dominant hand. I'm a left-handed person. Any other left-handed people out there? Left is right is what I always say. Anyways, we're still at our best here to replicate what we just drew with our shaky, awful hand. I don't know what I just did there. Gonna have to erase that. But we're getting closer to something that is at least on par with the Snoopy we want. Be the Snoopy you want to be in the world. That's what I always say. We got this ear coming in here, shaping in the head. I think we draw a bit of a collar shape eventually. And we just let this be as it is. The shapes aren't right, and the lines aren't right, and the ideas aren't right. But it's Snoopy with the opposite hand. Nonetheless, we should get his other hand in here while we're at it. Just draw that in, make things look nice and good. Get that collar in there. And I think we're basically at the end of our Snoopy with the opposite hand. Now it's time for us to do the blindfolded challenge. That's right, my eyes are closed. I cannot see. I'm just drawing shapes below the canvas, apparently. But hey, what can you do? That's me trying to finish the head. Very much not the character. The ear is also not in the right spot, nor is it being colored in properly. The eye is in the wrong spot, the nose is in the wrong spot, and the arm is in the wrong spot. And essentially, we've got Snoopy deconstructed. Perfect for the plate, and a disaster nonetheless. Here's Snoopy with the eyes closed. No, with my eyes closed. Time for the 1 minute challenge. That's right, we have 1 minute to draw the Snoopy. Now Snoopy, like I said before, is actually pretty straightforward. So a minute is actually a lot of time to draw Snoopy, especially given that I don't actually have Snoopy correct. It's just a matter of getting it in and getting it done, you know? And so we get it here and we draw it pretty fast. Fast and loose anyways, not quite Snoopy still, but close to the Snoopy I drew from memory, which is basically the target I'm shooting for. We got a nice little hand here, we got that collar in there, and of course we're going to draw in that dog's body, that little tail. We basically got Snoopy 100% complete, and so I had a little bit of time left, so I decided this one, just to show how fast I drew him, I would give him a thumbs up to show that he is an extra good boy, drawn extra good and fast. So we got an extra paw in here. It's just a little hello, thumbs up, I'm awesome. Let's check out the final reveal of our 1 minute Snoopy. With Snoopy done from 1 minute, it's time to use my finger. So I draw on an iPad. I have a digital pen and it makes things precise and detailed. And with this challenge, I throw it away and I start doing my drawing with my finger instead. And so it's a little bit looser, a little bit stranger. I started using a new pen for this function because I felt like it went a little bit better with that pen. And you can see here that the pieces are there. They're just sort of stretched and skewed in ways that maybe are not sensible. But hey, we can be proud of our work even if it's wrong. And with that, it's time to get into the real Snoopy, using reference to help us draw the picture of Snoopy. And you can already tell we're landing on Snoopy. Way more than we did from the original. I thought I did all right, but it turns out, not quite. But that's okay. It's part of the fun of this challenge, is seeing what our brains wants to do. Our brain wants to do with the ideas that we have in it. It helps us understand to be loose with our drawings and to have fun with our drawings. And to ultimately just do the art, not be too serious about it. And so you can see here, I'm pretty close to the Snoopy I want to have. And he does have a spot on his back, I'm pretty sure, based on the image I was looking at. So now it's time for us to just sort of smudge this a little bit, get it into the right shapes, and then ultimately get some line art on here. Are you a fan of the Snoopy comics, the Peanut comics? I read the other day that Charles Schulz didn't like the name Peanuts in the end. He always would call it his comic with Snoopy in it instead, which I find to be fascinating in every way possible. I used to read them all the time when I was a kid. I loved old sort of comic style comic strips. I read Garfield a lot. I read Calvin and Hobbes, my absolute favorite. And I read Charlie Brown. Beetle Bailey was also a big favorite of mine. I don't know why. Like, I have no sensibility when it comes to the military. There's just something about those comics. My grandfather had Beetle Bailey books, and we lived with our grandfather as part of our growing up. We all lived in the same house together. And so, you know, the stuff that he liked, I liked. And comic strips became a big part of my childhood. And I just love the old style, printed on that like old newsprint kind of page. Really fun and interesting. You can see our Snoopy here is coming together. Just getting the last of our lines in here. Getting a little bit of our details right, or as right as we can. And once we have it all together, we will, of course, get some color on it and get it ready for the final reveal of Mr. Snoopy. That's going to be it for our drawing Snoopy today. We did 6 challenges and I had a whole lot of fun. If you have characters you want to see me try this with, or new art challenges you want to see me try, let me know down in the comments below. I'm just happy to have fun here on the internet drawing pictures. If you enjoyed this video, do the like and subscribe stuff so that YouTube algorithm, our robot overlord, will benefit me. I don't know. Anyways, thank you for being here. That's all I really care about. And yeah, that's going to be it. Keep being awesome. Bye.